Hi, everybody. I'm Greg, bioinformator from Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Moxfield. B101, another zero. Um, you'll find me on Twitter, um, hyping the streams of the various people I've met along the way, playing some Commander games. And they have their own varied interests that spread out into some of them do arena stuff, some of them do other various video games or cosplay, or some of them are like alter or um, yeah, alter artists and things like that. So there's a wide variety of people that I just try and kind of pump up. Uh, and For myself, I do these box breaks on YouTube of Magic the Gathering product. Um, Yeah, I play Commander. So I have a draft box here. I don't actually play uh, draft. I just, build Commander decks. But this is the Dominaria Remastered draft boosters. And I have already opened up um, two boxes of this draft stuff. And I've opened two boxes of the collector boxes. I've had, well, com- collector boxes you're supposed to get cool stuff in. And But with a lot of recent sets, you kind of got shortchanged a bit. At least the distributions were such that there were like a couple of chase cards that were worth a lot, and the rest wasn't worth enough to make up the price of the box. So if you didn't hit the chase cards, you were not really meeting the value of the box. Um, but the collector boxes paid off for me. I think this is probably it's just a lumpy distribution, and I got lucky this time, and I hit a couple of good boxes, which means someone else probably has a not so good box out there. Um, with the drafts, I had one box that was okay. Another box that was pretty much a dud. I mean, it had a few good cards, but not near enough to make up the price of the box. So we're gonna see if the third time is the charm here, and see if I can get some hot cards out of this draft box. Like I did with I did my first draft box video, and I read off every single card I pulled. So um, for the second video, I kind of shortcut through the commons, and I think I'm going to do the same thing here to try and keep this at a more reasonable. I really don't know who is actually going to sit down and view these all the way through, but if you do, great. I'm gonna crack these anyhow, so I just figure I might as well record it in case anyone cares. Um, but So here, if you are into draft stuff, these are the kind of archetypes that you could play using this kind of draft box. And Yeah, so I've never had the draft experience, and I don't know how to play like the 60 card formats and stuff like that. Um, so I'm used to the singleton commander variety of things. Okay. But we'll hope for the best here. See if we get some fun stuff. Okay. We're gonna zoom through the commons. Okay, so we have Squirrel Nest, Congregate, Wax and Wane, Um, yeah. So that was our 3 uncommons. Saproling Symbiosis is our rare. We have a Savannah Lions as our retro. And we did get a foil, which was a common. We have plains. So we have our land card, and we have a cat as our token. There, I'll put the token over on that side. Yeah, so there's a couple kinds of special cards that we can get in these draft boxes. There are borderless cards that can show up at any rarity. As you can see, we have these retro border lands. In the draft boxes, they're non-foil. So you have to get a collector's box or buy singles if you want the foil versions of these. And the foil versions are really pretty spiffy. And what else is there? And then there's the retro cards. You can get retro border foils in here. There just aren't so many of them. I think in most boxes, I think there may be like around 3, and like maybe one, like one that's common, one that's uncommon, maybe one that's rare or mythic. But that's probably like all you're gonna get for that. Yeah, so what you'll be missing in these boxes is the borderless foils. You won't see. I think that's the only kind of card that you won't see. And then, yeah, and you'll get much more chances at borderless cards and retro cards, foil and not foil, in the collector boxes. Rith's Grove. So they've got a cycle of Triumph cards. I know I'm calling them Triumph. They tap for 3. I don't know if there's a technical distinction for what they call this kind. It's it doesn't come in tapped, but you would have to sacrifice it if you don't bounce a land to your hand. So I don't know if there's a special term for that. Ovinomancer, Assault, and Battery. Okay. Helm of Awakening. So, global spell discount. If you're set up to make that kind of like an asymmetric advantage for you, that's great. If you're playing some kind of stacks in combination with it, you can make your stuff cheaper and other people's normal cost or more expensive. Impulse is our retro. We have a retro forest and a squirrel. Okay, we got our commons. Mystic Enforcer. Dromar's Cavern. Or I can just call them Tri-lands. But they're not really, no, these are different because they're, okay, yes, I think the triomes actually say the land types on them. Let me double check something. Yeah. So the real triomes actually say mountain, plains, forest, whatever. These don't, but they tap for the colors of all three. So it's tricolor at least. Quicksilver Dagger. Opposition is our rare. Invigorating Boon is that. We have our forest and a goblin. Okay. Commons. Yeah, so watch my first draft break if you want more time spent on the commons. Storm Entity. Mishra's Factory. Invigorating Boon. Okay, Maze of Ith as our retro. Common. There's a swamp and an elemental. And I think what I'm going to do here, I am going to adjust the focus just a bit. I prefer to do this with a fixed focus, because I find that with my camera setup, if I don't, we get jitter, a bit of jitter in it. I am going to so sensitive. Okay. So the background is a little blurry now. But I'll be able to bring the cards closer to the screen for you. Okay. So we have our commons. Factor Fiction. Pain and Suffering. Even Fate Shaper. And another opposition. Terror. As. Ooh. But an Urza Lord High Artificer in retro foil. I think I shall pause a second. There's a planes and just an add card. I'll find Urza Lord High Artificer. Retro frame foil is $52.95. So that's definitely a good one. And I think that the Maze of Ith isn't terrible. The Helm of Awakening is kind of a mid one. Okay. Yeah, so with the Urza in this set, it's a borderless foil that's a chase for Urza. We have our commons. Confiscate. Stand and Deliver. Lightning Rift, sorry. Shivan Dragon is our rare. Gem Palm Incinerator. Island. And a Saproling. Commons. And we have Deadwood Treefolk. Order in Chaos. And Spectral Lynx. And we have Decimate as our rare. And a Lull in the retro. And an Island. And an Elephant token. And commons. Flashing before your eyes. And Nature's Lore. Dread Return. Gem Palm Incinerator. Shivan Dragon as retro. Common. Then we have a common foil of Peregrine Drake. And a Mountain. And a Goblin. Okay. Commons. Spite and Malice. Dedapult. Rada Heir to Keld. Entomb as our rare. Counterspell. Forest. And a bird. A void. Okay. Commons of yesteryear. Dragon Blood. Mesa Enchantress. Elvish Spirit Guide. And we have our first borderless, I think. Gamble as our first borderless, as a rare. Undead Gladiator. Mountain. And Griffin. Okay. Parade of Commons. Flesh Reaver. Voice of All. And here's a High Tide in borderless. So an uncommon borderless card. Nut Collector is a mythic. Spirit Light is our retro border. We have a foil sulfuric vortex. A swamp, and a goblin. So this is the last pack of the first stack. Okay. The commons go whizzing by. And we have a Griffin Guide. Necro Savant. And a Thran Golem. Forgotten Ancient is the rare. We have a retro Tatiova Benthic Druid. And a Swamp. And a Goblin. On to the second stack. Okay. Comments. Undead Gladiator. Recoil. And Serra Angel. Okay, an Enlightened Tutor in Borderless. So that is a good compliment to having the Urza hit. Frantic Search. And we have a Horseshoe Crab foil. A very foily Horseshoe Crab. A Mountain. And an Elephant. Commons. There. Fire Blast. High Tide. Battle Screech. Jester's Cap in the retro frame. That means we get a commons in the retro slot. A Plains and a Goblin. Okay. Yes, we're enduring the commons. Gameskeeper. Croesus's Catacombs. Dragon Whelp, which is a very cute little shoulder dragon. Pashalik Mons as our rare. And we have a Mind Stone, a Swamp, and an Elemental. And the bulk collection continues. Treva's Ruins, Dodecapod, Fire and Ice. Okay, and this one is kind of a joke. To me, at least. Urza's Blueprints as a rare. So it costs 6 and has Echo 6, and you can tap it to draw a card. So you must have a bunch of mana to be able to pay that much for card draw. I mean, then once you've yes, I think you only pay the echo cost once, but still paying 12 to then be able to just draw one card each turn after that, that doesn't seem wise to me. But I'm wondering, yeah, I mean, who knows? Mog War Marshal, but I know price wise it isn't worth a lot, so that's why I feel okay bagging on it. Mog War Marshal. Okay, we have a Spirit Link. So we have a retro foil Spirit Link. So this is a common foil retro. A Plains and a Goblin. Okay. Drownu's Crusade. Daragaz's Caldera. Slice and Dice. Arborea is the rare. There's Drownu's cast Crusade as a retro. A swamp. And a bird. Okay. Commons after commons after commons. Improvised Armor. Milliken. And Call of the Herd. Zira Arian is the rare. We have Valduk, Keeper of the Flame, as our retro card. Forest. And an elephant. Yes, and I should work out how to stream these live. Part of it is just working out the technicalities of setting up the stream, and the other part is that I work a full-time job, and I have no patience when it comes to opening these boxes. So I have them and I want to open them, and usually it's not a convenient time to stream. Chainer's Edict. So maybe I will eventually get around to it. Thieving Magpie. Flame Tongue Kavu, so another uncommon borderless. And here's Urza, Lord High Artificer, just in the regular version. As a rare. We happen to get an Ornithopter as our retro. Illusion Reality as a foil. Uncommon. Mountain. And a squirrel. Okay. Circular Logic. Damping Sphere. Nantuko Monastery. And Nantuko Shade is our rare. And Chain of Lightning is our retro. We have a mountain and a bird. And we get the commons out of the way. Okay. So we got Swords to Plowshares. Valdic, Keeper of the Flame. Tormod's Crypt. Grim Lavamancer has a retro rare, which means we have this common in the next slot, a Symbiotic Beast. We have a Plains, and we have a cat. Okay. Commons. Yes, the stretch of commons is large. I have run out of ways to fill that space, though. Faceless Butcher. Life and Death. Turnabout. So, Windborn Muse is the rare as a borderless. We have a Mesa Enchantress as a retro. We happen to have a foil Nomad Decoy, Swamp, and an ad card. Okay. Tiana, Ship's Caretaker. Phyrexian Scuta. Tatiova Benthic Druid. Ooh, Enlightened Tutor. Oops. In its native form. And we have Ovenize, Island, and Insect. Last pack of the second stack. Icy Manipulator. Night and Day. Dark Withering. Nut Collector as a mythic retro. And then we've got a Goblin Matron in the other slot. And we have an island and a cat. Okay, on to this final stack. Hmm. So, Wax and Wane. Mystic Enforcer. Quicksilver Dagger. Sulfur Falls is our rare. And Deadwood Treefolk is our retro. And we have Island and a Griffin. Okay. La dee da. Okay. Salted Battery. Storm Entity. Mistra's Factory. Ooh. Worldly Tutor. Momentary Blink. Foil Counterspell. Mountain. Add card. Wild Growth. Yeah, so. Commons. Dromar's Cavern. Deadwood Treefolk. And Fact or Fiction. And we have a Wrath of God in the retro. Juggernaut is a common to make up for that slot. Plains and a squirrel. Okay. Commons are out of the way. Confiscate. Invigorating Boon. Street Wraith as a borderless common. Arcades is our rare. Wild Dogs is the retro. Mountain. And a Goblin. And the commons are done. Pain and Suffering. Even Fate Shipper. And Flesh Reaver. Savin's Reclamation. These are rare. We have an Icy Manipulator as our retro. And a Rith's Grove in foil. do not think I've actually seen that one before. Forest. Add card. We're getting there. We got some good stuff in here. I think it's definitely better than the last box I had of draft. Stand and Deliver. Lightning Rift. Nature's Lore. Hinterland Harbor. Okay, Cloudberries. We have Forest and a cat. Oops. Okay, so our commons be gone. Spectral Links. Spite Malice. Dedapult. Royal Assassin, which is not worth it. Duress. No Plains. And a zombie. We shall get our commons out of the way. We have Dread Return. Dragon Blood. Gem Palm Incinerator. Then we have Grim Lavamancer in Borderless. And we have a Recoil as the retro. We have Goblin Medics as a foil, a Swamp, and a Construct. Okay, 4 packs. Here we go. So we have Order in Chaos, Voice of All, Rada, Heir to Keld, Exploration as the rare, Wild Growth, an Island, and an Insect. We shall skip through Commons. Mesa Enchantress. Elvish Spirit Guide. Griffin Guide. Zur the Enchanter in extended art. I mean, in retro frame. Yes. I am starting to lose it. Skirk Prospector. Spinal Embrace as a retro foil, which I think is not worth terribly much, despite it being a retro foil. Swamp and Goblin. Okay, our commons are done there. Gerard's Verdict. A Wall of Junk. Sawtooth Moon. Rith the Awakener. Sunset Wraith is our retro. We have a mountain and a Saproling. Okay, we're down to the final pack. Okay, we shall skip through the common cards. Necro Savant. Illusion and Reality. Thran Golem. Ye Old Wrath of God. Is that just regular Wrath of God? It's not. It's not retro. Thran Golem is a retro. And a forest. Squirrel. Okay. I think we did reasonably well here. For a draft box. Okay. Don't know what Zur is worth, but I'm assuming at least there's a chance. There's like a little bit for a land, maybe. I think Wrath of God, though, has been pushed too much. I don't know about Nut Collector, but Log Void. Frantic Search. Enlightened Tutor. There's it's at least some of the value out of the retros. I have to look up Exploration. I don't know what that's going for nowadays. I don't know what the Lavamancer Um, Worldly Tutor, though. Enlightened Tutor. I think I will have to at least look up a Windborn Muse. And there's Urza again. I think Arboria's got at least something going for it. Throw down the regular, not the gamble. Okay. So, I mean, I'm guessing. Don't know how much that is, but having two of those, we'll say a Worldly Tutor. The other Urza, Exploration. I want to check out Azure. Nut Collector. Windborn Muse. Arborea. And we got a couple of others. Got two versions of Nut Collector. Okay. Now I will look up a couple of things just out of curiosity. Find. Yeah, so once again, the retro foil Urza is 52. Just standard old Urza is 28. So that's like $80 right there. And so Enlightened Tutor, Borderless is 21. So like we're up to 100. Like almost 120, say. Okay, that's only $1.75. Mm, 25, 11, 35, so like 135. 135, 140, 148, 152, No. $159. Gamble. $59. Um, $60. It's like 160 something there. And there may be some other cards that are worth considering out of the rest. So that's, I think, pretty decent for a draft box. So yeah, good video. Oh, I know what I didn't look up was okay. The Windborn Muse and the Borderless is only $1. Yeah, Borderless foils 315. Okay, so that's but still, I think this Urza, it's just beautiful, right? That shade of blue with the marbly shiny stuff, that's pretty cool. And I've got my fill of Enlightened Tutors. I am all stocked with those after opening this stuff. So I'm not doing bad here. So anyhow, I hope you like seeing a selection of cards that you can get in a draft box, and that you can get a pretty decent box. It's definitely not guaranteed though. My other one was not good at all. But yeah, I have more to go. I'm Greg, Bioinformatter. Look for me on Twitter and YouTube, mainly. And I will hopefully see you for the next video. Thanks for watching.